Good evening, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Indira Gandhi Memorial Trust, I welcome you to the award presentation ceremony of the Indira Gandhi Prize for Peace, Disarmament and Development for the year 2024. We extend a floral welcome to our distinguished guests on the dais. Srimati Sonia Gandhi, Chairperson, Indira Gandhi Memorial Trust. Her Excellency, Michelle Bachelet, former President of Chile. Shri Shiv Shankar Menon, Chairman, Indira Gandhi Prize Jury. Shri Mallikarjun Khadge, President of the Indian National Congress. We begin with the welcome address by Shri Shiv Shankar Menon, Chairman, Indira Gandhi Prize Jury.
Your Excellency, Madam Michelle Bachelet, former President of Chile, Madam Sonia Gandhi, Chairperson of the Indira Gandhi Memorial Trust, ladies and gentlemen and friends, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the award ceremony of the Indira Gandhi Prize for Peace, Disarmament and Development for 2024. The prize was established to commemorate one of India's greatest 20th century leaders, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, and her remarkable contribution to national and global well-being. It seeks to recognize and promote what she stood and worked for, a world free of prejudice, where men and women of all lands can live in peace, cherishing our common humanity and universal heritage. Hence this prize for peace, disarmament, and development. The previous recipients of this prize have included those who worked to bring Arabs and Israelis together, Pratham for pioneering work in education in India, Her Excellency Mrs. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf of Liberia, Mary Robinson, and former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan, and organizations like Médecins Sans Frontières. I cannot think of a time when the purposes for which the prize was established were more relevant. We are in a world today which is adrift, where uncertainty, conflict, and human displacement are at levels that we have not seen since World War II. By any metric, deaths by conflict, internally displaced people, international refugees, we are in a much more dangerous and unpredictable world, marked by the return of power politics. And sadly, there is no sign of a cogent or effective international response to this situation. If ever we needed the work and values that the prize recognizes, it is now. And that is why we are gathered here today, because Madame Michelle Bachelet is the awardee of the Indira Gandhi Prize for 2024. There could not be a more fitting awardee. And let me count some of the ways, just some. In Dr. Bachelet, we have somebody who has consistently stood for values in politics and shown by her actions how to practice what she believes. In 2 terms as President of Chile, she showed how to come to terms with and to move forward in a polarized polity, and was an important voice for the rights of the most vulnerable and sections of the population. And no part of humanity suffers more from today's dysfunctional world than women and children. And she represents striving and hope for women and children in two very important ways. She has shown by her work that women are not just victims but have agency. And what she did as the first executive director of UN Women will always be remembered because it started a whole area of work which created constructive outcomes in the multilateral world. And we all know how rare that is. She was also a beacon of hope in her other role as UN High Commissioner for Refugees, where when power politics seems to trump reason, humanity, equity, and justice, and when a return to constructive multilateralism is essential if we are to deal with the kind of grave transnational issues that we face, such as climate change, developing country debt, inequality, and deprivation. And her work, actually, in the multilateral sphere shows us how we and the multilateral system might do so. So with these few words, allow me to felicitate Madame Bachelet and to welcome you all to this awards ceremony. Thank you very much.
I will now read out the citation, first in Hindi, then in English. इंदिरा गांधी स्मारक न्यास का अंतर्राष्ट्रीय निर्णायक मंडल कठिन परिस्थितियों में भी शांति, लैंगिक समानता, मानवाधिकार, लोकतंत्र और विकास हेतु अपने दृढ़तापूर्ण प्रयासों द्वारा विश्व भर की महिलाओं और पुरुषों के लिए उदाहरण स्थापित करने, प्रेरणा बनने और चिली के साथ भारत के संबंधों में उनके योगदान के लिए महामहिम मिशेल बैचलेट को शांति, निरस्त्रीकरण और विकास के लिए वर्ष 2024 का इंदिरा गांधी पुरस्कार प्रदान करता है। श्रीमती सोनिया गांधी, अध्यक्षा इंदिरा गांधी स्मारक न्यास, पुरस्कार प्रदान करेंगी। The International Jury of the Indira Gandhi Memorial Trust has awarded the 2024 Indira Gandhi Prize for Peace, Disarmament and Development to Her Excellency Michelle Bachelet for the example and inspiration that she is to women and men around the world of steadfastly striving for peace, gender equality, human rights, democracy and development in difficult circumstances, and her contributions to India's relations with Chile. Award is being presented by Srimati Sonia Gandhi, Chairperson, Indira Gandhi Memorial Trust. Her Excellency, Michelle Bachelet. I request Srimati Sonia Gandhi, Chairperson, Indira Gandhi Memorial Trust, to kindly address the gathering.
Your Excellency, Madame Michelle Bachelet, former President of Chile, Shri Mallikarjun Kharge ji, Shri Shivshankar Menon, Chairperson of the jury for the Indira Gandhi Prize for Peace, Disarmament and Development, members of the jury, distinguished guests. The Indira Gandhi Prize for Peace, Disarmament and Development was instituted in 1985 in the memory of one of the most extraordinary women leaders of our time. The award commemorates Indira Gandhi's monumental contributions by celebrating women, men, and institutions that have worked towards social development, peace, sustainability, and numerous other causes. It reminds us that even in times of strife, there are those who fight for progress, justice, and the well-being of humankind. As India's first and only woman Prime Minister of India, Indira Gandhi reshaped our country with her policies dedicated to ameliorating poverty, deprivation, conflict, and inequality. She once said, and I quote, "Peace we want because there is another war to fight against poverty, disease, and ignorance." Her work reflected these beliefs that everyone has the right to live without oppression, prejudice, poverty, and violence. The breadth and depth of her accomplishment continue to be recalled and admired in India and across the world. As a leader with a compassionate heart, a deep love for her people, a fierce commitment to human rights, and an unflinching faith in nonviolence, her legacy continues to inspire countless people. Today, I feel privileged to be able to say a few words on the life of another extraordinary, inspiring leader whom we are honoring. Former President Michelle Bachelet has seen at first hand loss, oppression, torture, and exile in her early years. It is a remarkable coincidence how both these two women, were born and raised in times of strife. Their country, their people, their family, and they themselves were victims of subjugation. Madame Bachelet found her way back to Chile, facing setbacks while also witnessing her country's transformation into a democracy. As a trained medical professional, she worked with the Ministry of Health, later serving as the health minister in 2000. She continued to break barriers, becoming Chile and Latin America's first female defense minister, and made history when she was elected president of her country on 2 separate occasions. As Shri Menon has just said, Madame Bachelet's influence extended far beyond the borders of Chile and Latin America, when she was appointed as the first director of UN Women Agency in 2010, and later as United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights. Her work has been rooted in efforts to ensure the rights of all, but particularly of women. She believes that gender equality is imperative to resolving all that afflict our world. She has said, and I quote, "We simply can no longer afford to deny the full potential of 1/2 of our population. The world needs to tap into the talent and wisdom of women, whether the issue of food security, economic recovery, health, or peace and security. The participation of women is needed now more than ever." Unquote. As president, she reformed her country's healthcare system by improving access to primary care facilities, targeting her government's policies towards vulnerable sections such as victims of sexual abuse, promoting their rights to good health and well-being. She was also responsible for improving the conditions and treatment of women in the military and the police force. Her far-reaching tax reforms resulted in more inclusive pension schemes and social protection programs for women and children, and the adoptions of quotas to increase women's political participation. Legislations introduced by her government have done much to promote equality, rights, and freedom to all. So it is indeed an honor for the Indira Gandhi Memorial Trust to confer the Indira Gandhi Prize for Peace, Disarmament, and Development 2024 on President Michelle Bachelet, who epitomizes the very essence of Indira Gandhi's life and work. And it is now for all of us here to look forward to hearing Madame Bachelet, and it is with great, great pleasure that I invite her to address us. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Ms. Sonia Gandhi, Chair of the Indira Gandhi Memorial Trust, Shri Shiv Shankar Menon, Chairman of the International Tribunal or Jury, distinguished members of the Indira Gandhi Memorial Trust, Excellencies, distinguished guests, dear friends. I would like to express my deepest gratitude for the Indira Gandhi Prize for Peace, Disarmament, and Development, which has been conferred upon me by the Indira Gandhi Memorial Trust. I wish to extend my special thanks to all of those who are part of this trust, as well as to the members of the Indira Gandhi's family. I am profoundly honored by this distinction. Before I continue, I cannot fail to acknowledge the tragic attack that struck this city last week, claiming 9 lives and injuring many others. My deepest condolences go to the families who have lost loved ones, and my heartfelt wishes for the recovery of all those who were wounded. We know that violence is never the way. Peace, one of Indira Gandhi's deepest convictions, must always guide us forward. And yet, even in moments of sorrow, the spirit, the resilience of this nation shine through. It is a true privilege to be once again in India, a country of extraordinary cultural richness, profound history, and vibrant diversity. Standing here, one cannot help but feel the weight and beauty of this land, where ancient civilization gave birth to philosophy, science, and art that still illuminate the world today. This is a country where tradition and modernity walk hand in hand, where the past speaks through every stone and hope shines in every face. From its timeless wisdom to its modern achievements, India has always been a source of inspiration for the world. The generosity, wisdom, and vitality of the Indian people are a living testament to the strength of community and the power of shared purpose. I recall my first visit here in 2009, when Prime Minister was Prime Minister Singh, and in that occasion I have the joy to meet you, Madam Gandhi. I came because it was the 60th anniversary of the establishment of bilateral relationships between our two countries when I was serving in my first term as President of Chile. The warmth and hospitality we received left a lasting impression. 2 years earlier, in 2007, our nations had signed the Preferential Trade Agreement, which helped strengthen our partnership and sustain growth even amid one of the most severe global economic crises in modern times. Today, I wish to pay tribute to the remarkable life and legacy of Indira Gandhi, a visionary woman and a tremendous source of inspiration for so many people around the world. Her legacy, one that sought to enlarge freedom of humankind while pursuing peace, justice, and progress, remains more alive than ever. The Indira Gandhi Memorial Trust, committed to carrying forward the work she began and to supporting the causes she held dear, continues to honor her vision. She believed that nations could prosper only if they lived in harmony with one another. This belief feels even more urgent in today's fragmented world, as Mr. Menon was remembering us, marked by multiple conflicts and with challenges that no nations can solve alone. And one of these challenges is the triple planetary crisis of climate change, pollution, and biodiversity loss. Let us not forget that Indira Gandhi was among the first world leaders to recognize that the future of humanity depends on our relationship with nature and on our duty to protect the environment. This truth remains more compelling and urgent than ever. One of the very causes that deeply move Indira Gandhi is also what inspired me to enter into politics, to improve the welfare of the people. Early in my life, I realized that people's well-being is intrinsically linked to the respect for human rights. Peace and progress are inseparable from human dignity, and without human rights, the full development of our potential as human beings becomes impossible. I have witnessed this throughout my life, in my roles as Minister of Health, as Minister of Defense, as President of Chile, as Executive Director of UN Women, and High Commissioner for Human Rights. The defense of human rights never ends. We must always safeguard the essential freedoms of all people. As Indira Gandhi once said, and I will quote, "Peace, like freedom and progress, is indivisible. If freedom is crushed anywhere, it does diminish the freedom of all others." End of quote. Her words resonate deeply today, reminding us that we must continue to defend human rights everywhere and always. It is precisely for this reason that the struggle for human rights is inseparable from the defense of democracy. Though not perfect, democracy remains the best system we have built. Yet democracies must deliver. They must respond to the urgent needs of their people. Otherwise, they risk becoming irrelevant and losing their very meaning. Peace has also been one of my lifelong commitments. I have always upheld an unwavering commitment to peace, global security, and nuclear disarmament. The threat posed by nuclear weapons remains among the most pressing concerns of our time. Their existence continues to endanger not only our generation, but those yet to come. Therefore, we must redouble our collective efforts to move forward toward a world free of nuclear weapons. We cannot forget the horrific humanitarian consequences of their use, nor their incompatibility between their possession and use with international humanitarian law and the international human rights system. Another of my lifelong struggles has been the fight for gender equality. In 2012, while serving as Executive Director of UN Women, I was here in Delhi participating in the 7th Conference of Women Speakers of Parliament, organized by the Inter-Parliamentarian Union, where we work alongside leaders committed to advancing equality between women and men, girls and boys, within families, in societies, and in parliaments across all nations. Because women represent half of the world's talent, capacity, and potential, and deserve the same rights and opportunities as men. When I was at the UN, I was so surprised to read the resolutions where they speak about the minorities, and they put women and children. And in my country, women, we are even a majority. We are like 52% of the population. And in many countries happen the same. So it was like more seeing women as second kind of citizens that they would consider minorities. But we're not minorities. In the world, we're at least 50%. So when we don't give women all the rights and opportunity, we're losing this capacity, that potential that will help progress the world. Well, we have made progress in this struggle. There's still a long road ahead. Today, women hold only 27% of parliamentary seats and 30% of managerial positions. At this pace, equality in leadership will take another 100 years. Far too long to wait for what is rightful. Our collective efforts to break barriers to end gender discrimination and to open new spaces for all women must continue stronger than ever. We cannot simply wait for change to come. As Indira Gandhi wisely said, and I quote, "In life, opportunities are not given, they are made and taken." End of quote. So it is up to all of us to continue creating opportunities for the girls and women of today and tomorrow. Let me just say, dear friends, I accept this award knowing that it's not only a recognition of my own journey, but also of the countless women and men who have believed in and worked alongside me and many others for a fairer, freer, and more peaceful world. We know that such a world is within our reach if we dare to build it together. To be honest, sometimes when I look at the world today, I feel not so optimistic. That's why I think that multilateralism is more needed than ever, and we need to give to all these global challenges global responses. Otherwise, humanity will not have a good time. So let us honor Indira Gandhi's enduring vision by working together every day across nations, generations, and differences. That is the only way we can build a world with peace, equality, and dignity, and not aspirations, but realities for all. May this honor renew in us the conviction that every step toward peace, every act of justice, and every raised